So welcome everyone to the class. The topic that we are going to discuss today is work energy theorem. Actually, work energy theorem holds for both, that is constant force and variable force. We will discuss both. First, let's have a look what is work energy theorem. First, we will derive the condition, then I will explain the statement to all of you. First is for constant force. Okay, we will look both for the constant force and the variable force, what is work energy theorem and how we can derive it. So the first one is for constant force. First one is for constant force. Let's have a look. As from third equation of motion, if you remember the equation, what was it? It was v square minus u square is equals to 2as. Acceleration is constant since we are deriving the relation for the constant force. Now, if we multiply, just look at the steps. If we multiply m by 2 on both sides, just multiplying by m by 2 on both sides, so what we will get? This and this will get cut. Here we will get half m v square minus half m u square is equals to m into a into s. Okay, what is half mv square? Its initial velocity was u, its final velocity is v. Then we can say that this is the final kinetic energy. If you remember the formula for kinetic energy, half into m into the square of the velocity. And this should be the initial kinetic energy. Half mv square is the final kinetic energy, half mu square is the initial kinetic energy. What we can write in place of ma? As you remember, force, yes, force into displacement, and what can be written as in the place of force into displacement? It can be written as kf minus ki is equals to w. Work done is equals to force into displacements, and this is only the work energy theorem. The net work done on the body is equal to change in kinetic energy of the body. Again, I am repeating, what is work energy theorem? This is the expression for work energy theorem, and this is only the statement. The net work done on the body by the force is equals to net change in kinetic energy. And this is a small derivation for a constant force. For a constant force, this is a small derivation for work energy theorem. That means kf minus ki is equals to w. Or you can also say delta k, that means change into energy should be equals to net work done on the body. Okay, delta k is equals to net work done on the body. Now we will look it for variable force. Just look at the equations. I am repeating once again, this was the third equation of motion. I have multiplied by m by 2 on both sides. Here we get m as, and here it is half mv square minus half mu square. This is the final kinetic energy, this is the initial kinetic energy. In place of ma, I have written force, F is equals to m, and force into displacement can be written as work done. So the net work done on the body by the force is equals to net change in the kinetic energy. This is the work energy theorem. Now we will look it for variable force. This was for a constant force. Variable force, what does variable force means? Variable force means that the force is varying with the displacement of the body. It does not remain constant. Just have a look. First I am drawing the graph. Suppose this is x, displacement of the body, and this is force. And this was the initial position xi, and this was the final position xf. This was the initial position of the body, this was the final position of a body. See, I am drawing the graph like this way. Let's have a look. See, the force is not constant, it is varying. Here it is less, here it is greater, again becoming less, again becoming greater. So this is the graph for the variable force with respect to displacement. Then how to find the work energy theorem for this? What I will do, just have a look. I will divide the whole graph into small strips. I will divide the whole graph into the small strips of equal length. All the strips are of equal length, though there is some variable here, but all the strips are of equal length. Suppose the width of each length is delta x. The width of each length is delta x. Again I am repeating, what was this? This was the graph for force versus displacement of the variable force. See, the force is variable throughout the displacement of the body. This was the initial position, this is the final position. What I have done, I have divided this whole graph into small strips of equal width. Let's do the equal width because it was variable here, yes. Of equal width, I have divided the whole graph into the equal width. The width of each is delta x. The width of each is delta x. Suppose I want to find out the work done of this only small portion. So therefore, small work done will be given by delta W is equals to F delta x. Small work done for small strip will be given by force at that particular moment into delta x. If delta x tends to 0, if limit delta x tends to 0, hope you remember what we will get. dw is equals to f dx. If you remember the calculus part, the delta will change into d for instantaneous. dw is equals to f dx. Now suppose if we want to find out the whole work done, what we will do for finding the whole in physics, what we do for finding the whole work done, we integrate on integrating both sides. On integrating both sides, what we will get? Integration of dw will be integration of f dx. From where to where? From xi to xf. The lower limit will be the xi, the initial position, the upper limit will be xf. And what will be the integration of w? W is equals to integration of f dx from xi to xf. Understood? W is equals to integration of xi to xf f dx. This is the expression we are going to use for derivation of work energy theorem. Okay? For the variable force, the expression of the work done is given by this one. For the variable force, the expression of work done is given by W is equals to integration of xi to xf into f dx. To xi to xf into f. Remember this equation, we are going to use this equation for deriving the work energy theorem for the variable force. Okay? So let's move forward for deriving the equation for the variable force. Just wait a minute. Remember that equation. W is equals to integration of xi to xf into f dx. Okay? Now see. The kinetic energy is given by, how is the kinetic energy given? Half mv square. This is the equation for the kinetic energy expression of formula. If I differentiate both sides with respect to t, differentiating both sides with respect to t, let's see what do we get. dk upon dt is equals to half is constant, m is constant. What will be the differentiation of v square? 2 into dv by dt. We can write like this. Half is constant outside and the differentiation of v square should be 2 into dv by dt. 2 into dv by dt. Understood till here? 2 into dv by dt. Oh, good. Now what we can do? what we can write in place of dV by dt, if you remember? What we can write in place of dV by dt? Acceleration, yes. dk upon dt is equals to m into a. Right? In place of dV by dt, we can write a, mass into acceleration. Now let's have a look what we can do for here. Mass into, okay, half into mv square, d by dt of half into m into v square. Half is here, m is here, the differentiation of v square is equals to 2, oh sorry, there is a mistake. Just have a look, just wait. I forgot the chain rule. Half into m into 2v into dv by dt. Yes, this is the characteristic. These two and these two will get out. If you remember the chain rule, the differentiation of v square will be 2v and then the differentiation of v, that is dv by dt. Now let's do like this. dk by dt is equals to 2 and 2 gets cut, m into v into dv by dt we can write as a. Now coming to the next part, see, I am just rearranging it. dk by dt is equals to m into a into v. dk by dt is equals to m into a into v. Now dk by dt can be written as m into a into dx by dt. If you remember, the velocity can be written as dx by dt. Just see what the mistake I have done here before I am explaining it once again. The differentiation of v square will be 2v, then applying the chain rule into dv by dt. And dv by dt is a, acceleration. So m into v into a. Then m into a into v. I have put this thing here and v can be written as dx by dt. V can be written as dx by dt. Now, if you see on both sides there is dt, they can't be get cancelled out, but we can remove it. We can remove it from both the sides. So we get dk is equals to what we can write in place of ma? Force, yes. F into dx. Now, if I integrate both sides, from initial kinetic energy to final kinetic energy, and here the variable is position from xi to xf. What is the integration of dk? K, then upper limit minus lower limit, kf minus ki. If you remember just previously what I have told, what is the expression of this integration of xi to xf f dx, that is equals to work here. So this is the derivation for work energy theorem for a variable force. Just have a look. I am explaining it once again. The kinetic energy was given by half mv square. I have differentiated on both sides with respect to time. dk by dt is equals to d by dt of half mv square. Half and m are constant. Integration of v square is 2v into dv by dt. dv by dt can be written as a. V remains here, m remains here. In place of ma, I have written force. In place of v, I have written dx by dt. On both sides there is dt, so we can remove that. And then we have done integration. We cannot do the integration here because the force is also variable and the displacement is also variable. But we have an expression for this. Integration of xi to xf f dx is equals to work done. So this is also the work energy theorem. The net work done on the body by the force is equals to change in kinetic energy of the body. Have a look at it.